Story time. Happy New Week. Welcome to another week this week. But this week, nothing special really happened this week. So I'm just going to give you guys story time of how I went from the bottom to the top. Do you know I used to live in Gishiri? Do you know that I used to live in the trenches in Maraba? I'm not even talking about like the dope parts of Maraba. I guess there are some dope parts in Maraba. I'm talking about the ghetto in Maraba. Okay, so you know this thing where when people gossip about somebody or when people say something about somebody, it eventually gets back to that person. So I've heard stories like, Preye is so lucky to live in Japan. It's not luck. I worked for it. Preye is so lucky to be working in Japan. It's not luck. I worked for it. Preye never used to make content when she was back in Nigeria, but all of a sudden, now she's abroad and she's making content. Do if easy. Okay, let's go to the beginning of the whole story. I graduated in 2019. So let's just say in 2020, my ass was depressed as fuck. So let's just say the amount of depression that I have been in this my small life. Okay, so first things first, I remember in 2020 when it was like the whole COVID and I couldn't go for NYSC and I was stuck in my house with like all these people in the house and for some reason at that point, because I guess I was like a little depressed, so I used to eat a lot, so I became like very fat. And everybody used to be like, look at you, 4 times 4. Like, you know the truck. Yeah, so my video cut short. You know the 4 times 4 truck. I've been called 4x4 truck. I've been called bag of cement. I was called a loaf of bread. I was called a loaf of bread that has been soaked in water. I was told, look at you. You can't even turn your neck. Anyway, so I guess 2020 was like a whole depression thingy. And back then, I used to be so depressed. And the only time that I felt better was like when my friend Laura used to like take me to her makeup classes because she was learning makeup back then. So she used to like make me go and then do makeup on me. So I guess that was like the only time that I actually ever felt better about myself. Every other time I was just annoyed and I hated the world. Okay, fast forward. I think as at 2020, I already made up my mind like, yo, when I go for NYC, I don't think I want to come back to this house. I want to find my way, right? So 2020 ends, 2021 begins, and I got the opportunity to finally finish my final year clearance and like go for NYC. That's another story for the day. So anyways, I get to NYC, yeah. And why I'm saying this story is because yesterday I was talking to my friend on the phone, Laura again, and she was like, hey, remember when you were in the bottom of the pot? And also yesterday I was looking at my international passport and I remember the struggle that I went through to get an international passport. Yeah, I went through a struggle to get international passport. So during NYSC, I think that was like 2021, 2022, I already made up my mind like I want an international passport because I've never had one my entire life. I grew up, I never had an international passport. And I was like, I want to get an international passport because deep down in my heart, I don't want to stay in this country anymore. I want to jackpot. So I had called somebody at like immigration office and they were like, oh, getting an international passport is going to cost you like 30,000 naira. Took me 3 months to save up to buy an international, like to get international passport. Only for me, thank God back then I was in like Ogun State. That was like I did my NYC. Only for me to get to immigration office and they're like, it's not 30,000 naira anymore. You know how, like, let's be honest about the Nigerian system of doing things. It's now 60 something thousand naira. And I'm like, hey. And I remember my friend was like, you know what, just let it go. Maybe you can just take some time to save some money. I was like, no. Eventually it's gonna reach like 100,000. How long will it take me to make 100 to save 100,000? So I went on my favorite borrowing app, Migo Loan, and I borrowed like 30 something thousand or so. And I was able to pay for the passport. Anyways, a week later or so, they were like, come take your passport. Now, this is where the drama begins. So, after finishing NYSC, I was like, I'm not going back to like my family house because of like personal reasons and all of that. So I decided to go live with my cousin in Gishiri. I don't know, if you don't know Gishiri, then you're probably part of like the posh people. But like if you know Gishiri, then you know Gishiri. Gishiri is like the ghetto of the ghetto. Anyway, I started living in Gishiri, and you know that thing where they're like your environment and the people around you influence how you think. Long story short, let's just not go that way. So I'm living in Gishiri, yeah, and I'm trying to hustle my life. And I went from, don't get me wrong, like I grew up in a house where I went to private schools of like 800,000 and all of that. But I personally, I decided, you know what, I don't want this. I want something else for myself. So I decided to leave the comfort of my house. So I went from taking Uber and Bolt to taking along. I went from like directing the Uber driver, oh, stop at the supermarket, I want to buy something, to squeezing 4 people at the back seat or 2 people in front seat of along. So I started living in Gishiri, and after like a couple of months, the Abuja government is like, we are gonna demolish Gishiri. And then the day came where there were literal bulldozers, yeah? There were literal bulldozers that came in, and they were like, push, like breaking down houses. And I remember me and my cousin were so confused because I was living with my cousin back then. We were so confused. Like, we couldn't even go to work because it's like, you don't want to go to work and then come back and your shit has been like destroyed and all of that. Anyways, we did all of that one. Eventually, Gishiri got demolished, yeah? So we packed our things and went to Mararaba. So we moved to Mararaba. It's not an upgrade. As a matter of fact, Mararaba was like a downgrade of Gishiri because, I mean, Gishiri, yeah, my video cut short. So in Gishiri, there was water, there was like almost constant light because back then I used to teach English online, like in a school in Vietnam. So I used to teach English online, and back then the light in Gishiri was nice. So the only time I ever had to use like the generator was like whenever they take the light. I went from that, we moved to Mararaba, and in Mararaba it's like they take the light for like 3 days and then bring it for like 2 hours on the phone. I mean, eventually it got better. Eventually they started like bringing the lights in the middle of the night, maybe for like from like 11 p.m. to like 2 a.m. and then take the lights the whole day. It went like, it was just getting worse and worse and worse by the day. Like, eventually I got so sad because it's like, am I even making the right choice? Because there were many times when some idiots, Lord forgive me, will be like, why don't you just go back to your father's house? It's easier. And I'm like, if I could go back, if that was an option, don't you think I will do that, you dumb, stupid piece of shit? Anyway, long story short. So in 2023, I had been like teaching online and I've been hustling my ass. And in 2023, I finally got the opportunity. Like, I got the opportunity to come to Japan. Like, I had my entry stamp, I had everything. But guess what? I didn't have money for flight ticket. I didn't have money for anything. Hey, I cried. I cried because I called every single person that I know. I called everybody. Nobody had money to give to me. No, like, even borrow. Like, Oga, borrow me money, I'll pay you back. Nope. And I even had one person. Yeah, video got cut short again. So, and then there was even this one person that was like, oh, my Preye, if it was me that had the opportunity, if it means I will rob a bank, then I'll just go and rob a bank. But here's the thing, yeah. In as much as I like to form ghetto and streets and walk, I'm still a Christian. And the thing about the Christianity is that what I've learned personally is if God doesn't want you to do something, or if it is not in his plan for you, you will struggle. Like, you will struggle to do that thing. And I remember everything was a struggle. Everything was a fight for me to just come to Japan in 2023. And eventually I just let it go. It was so painful. It was so painful to let go because I waited till the last minute. The company kept calling and emailing me like, when are you going to be here? When are you going to be here? Eventually, I just had to tell them like, I can't come. And they were like, return the documents and all of that. And I was probably depressed for like 2 months. Like, I was so sad to the point that when I wake up in the morning and I look at myself in the mirror, I'm like, you're such a disappointment. Or when I look at myself in the mirror, I'm like, "Ugh, you should be ashamed of yourself." Like, it went from me looking in the mirror and being like, "Gambate kudasai, you can do it," to you're such an embarrassment. And it got to the point I stopped looking at the mirror. Anyways, after some time, I decided to start doing nails. I don't hustle, sha. I started doing press-on nails. Like, I learned press-on. I saved up all my eternity to be able to afford 50,000 naira. It was a 50,000 that I used to pay for like an online training that I did. It's the videos are even still on my TikTok, like day one of being a nail tech artist, day two, day three. The video should still be on my TikTok, and every day I used to do that. What's the name? Yeah, my video culture. So I had even given up on the whole traveling abroad thing because in my mind I was like, maybe God doesn't want me to go abroad after all, because it's like the kind of person I am. If I want to do something and I pray about it, if I have to take a loan, if I have to take a loan to buy something, or if I have to take a loan to do something, or if I have to beg and cry to do something, I'd rather not do it, because that means God does not want me to do it. Because whatever that I want is supposed to come to me easily and effortlessly without any stress if it is meant for me. So I had to let it go. So, low-key, I was thinking maybe I could start saving some money, but eventually I just let it go. And I just concentrated on my nail tech thing for like a long time. I think up until like December in 2023, when out of nowhere, one of my family members just calls like, boom, Preye, where have you been? And it was like my cousin that I hadn't spoken to like in a long time. And she's like, hey, where have you been? What have you been up to? And you know that thing where they always say opportunity meets those that are ready. So she was like, so we met up and we started talking, and she was like, what have you been up to? And I was like, well, last year I had the opportunity to, jackpot, but I couldn't because I didn't have the money to do that. And she was like, well, why don't you try again? And if it works out, then I will find a way and a plan to make it work out for you. I'm like, stop, mate kudasai. Do not promise me something and then change your mind later. And she's like, no. Like, if you're actually interested in it and you were like, you had the opportunity last year and you have the opportunity again this year, I will sort it out for you. I'm like, so long story short, I was still in contact with the company that wanted to employ me in 2023. So I just contacted them like, hey, I'm able to come now. Are you guys still open? And they were like, yeah, sure. Just do this and do that. And you should be in Japan in like July. I'm like, really? They're like, yeah. So I contact her and she's like, oh, okay, then if that's it, then that's fine. I'll sort it out. I'm like, huh? So opportunity does meet those that are ready, because if I wasn't like ready, then I guess that opportunity will have missed me, right? Long story short, I hustled this whole thing for like 6 months. And then in 2024, in May, when I was supposed to come to Japan, my enemies decided that they are mad. They decided that they are mad. Who is sending me a message? I'm so sorry. I had a meeting this morning and that was like a follow-up email. Okay, so where was I? So in May, I already packed my shit. I already packed my bag. And I remember I was talking to somebody and they were like, "You have to leave by fate." And he was telling me how he already had his bag packed for like 6 months before he finally got the visa to go all the way to like Hong Kong or something. I'm like, okay. So I packed my bag that I was gonna take to Japan. And yeah, I didn't unzip that bag till I got to this country. So in May, I was in Lagos, yeah. My flight was booked, everything was booked. Only for me to get to the airport. And the flight company is like, no, 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 you need a return ticket. I'm like, what do you mean I need a return ticket? I literally have a job offer for 1 year. What do you mean I don't need a return ticket whatsoever? By the way, this was my village people fighting. I was like, I'm not getting it. What is happening? Long story short, I used my 2 eye to see the aeroplane. He did whee and flew out of Nigeria and left me in Nigeria. When I say yeah, I've been through a lot of depressions, but that one was another level because it was like, I am right here. Like, I am right here. I booked the flight. I booked everything. I did everything right. I contacted everybody that needed to be. Like, what do you mean I need, what the I almost died at the airport. But like my friend was like, hey, relax, calm down. I'm sure something will work out. I'm like, what do you mean something will work out? This ticket was like 1 million naira, 1 million naira. This ticket, what do you, video got cut short again. What do you mean? Like, this is 1 million. First of all, the person that paid the money, how am I going to tell her like the company is not allowing me to enter the aeroplane? How am I going to contact a company in Japan to tell them that this year again I'm not coming back? Do you know how unserious? This year I'm not coming again. Do you know how unserious that is? Like, I'm already in Lagos. Like, oh my god, the enemies. So I was at the airport. I called my cousin and she was like, don't worry, I'm sure we'll figure something out. I called my uncle. Everybody's like, last the aeroplane left me. And I remember that night I was so sad, but I couldn't cry because I was in another person's house. How on earth am I going to cry? Secondly, I'm a strong babe. Strong babes don't cry. I was so sad. And I remember like my prayer was like, maybe it was like a threat to God. I don't know. It's like, why did you even let this happen? Like, why did you bring me this far to allow this to happen? It doesn't make any sense. Like, I personally, you don't see me going around doing wickedness to people. You don't see me going around doing whatever to people. But if there's actually like somebody somewhere thinking life is too easy for me, please let them die, because what the fuck? So the next day the company contacted me. I was like, are you in Japan now? And I had to say, oh no, I'm not in Japan. And from the email, you could tell the aggressive email that was like, in a subtle aggressive way, like, if you're not here by so time, your training will be cancelled. Hey! Jesus. And so I had to call my cousin that I was staying with back in Abuja already was like calling me and panicking. Like, my friend Laura was like already panicking because she was like, she knows the shit that I've been through and she knows the hustle that I had to hustle. So she's panicking on my behalf, and I'm like, I maybe it's not meant to be. I don't know. Anyways, I think like the next day my cousin calls and I was like, you know what? I was able to get another flight ticket to Japan and just give the company the update and all of that. And low key, I am so grateful for that woman. Like, I am so grateful for her, because it's like she didn't even have to do that. Like, she didn't have to do that. She didn't have to take up all that responsibility, but she did. Like, what the hell? And I guess God used her to like bless me, because I guess he wanted me to be here. So here's the thing where I was saying, like, if God really wants something for you, it's going to be like super easy and effortless. Because I remember the 2023, I was begging everybody for money, I was asking for loan, I was doing this and doing that. And when I came to Japan in 2024, I did not pay for anything. Like, everything was sorted out, even down to 50 naira photocopy. Everything was sorted out, because I guess that was when God wanted me to be here. And low-key, I am so happy I did not come in 2023, because if I did, oh God, they would have deported me back to Nigeria, because the suffer that would have catch me. Because when I came here in 2024, unexpected expenses, unexpected this, to the point where I'm trekking some kind distance to some kind places because I didn't have enough money. And I'm saying, and in my mind I'm thinking, like, if I had been here in 2023, I would have ended up doing some kind of criminal act to get money that would have ended up getting me deported. Thank God I didn't come. I mean, back in 2023, I was so angry that God didn't allow me to come. And in 2024, I was so grateful that God didn't allow me to come. So it's like... And in somebody's mind, they're like, make up your mind. What are you grateful or angry? But like, when it's time for something, it will happen. It's just, I mean, sometimes some village people might try to delay it, but it will happen. What's the summary of this? The whole point of this video this week is that you see that talk of Preye is so lucky to be in Japan. It's not luck. I hustled that shit straight from paying, hustling passports, to teaching online, The teaching online stuff, they're even owing me like $1,400. Like, that's how much they cheated me. I know that one is bad market, because I'll never get that money back. Teaching online, hustling some kind of foolish hustle. So Preye is so lucky to live in Japan. It's not luck. I hustled that shit. Preye is so lucky to be working in Japan. It's not luck. I hustled that shit. Preye is living in Japan now, so every content she makes is about Japan and living abroad. When she was in Nigeria, she never used to make content. Do if it easy. Do you hear? We all have access to internet. Do if it easy. The one that I heard, Preye took another person's opportunity. The opportunity that I took was the person. The opportunity that I took, did it fly? Where did the opportunity come from? Okay. What else? Anyways, long story short, that was the point of this video for this week. I'm so happy that you guys watched today's video. My video cut short. Thank you for watching this week's video. Leave your comments in the comment section below. If you want more story time, I have tons of story time. I have story time of when I was doing NYSC. NYSC is another one. Which other story time again? Shit, man. I have so much story time. So like, if you want story time, let me know. But thank you so much for watching this week's video, and see you next week. I hope something exciting happens next week. Ooh, something exciting is happening next week. I just hope it works out. Then I'll update you guys next week. See you next time. Mata raishu. Arigatou gozaimasu.